Welcome to Akmenė district municipality, the place where you can be in three bizarre places at the same time. The Earth in the Jurassic period, the Moon, and even planet Mars. Yet you will find Akmenė in the northwest of Lithuania, bordering Latvia. It is 3 hours drive away from the capital Vilnius, which actually makes capital of Latvia, Riga, much closer to Akmenė, being just 2 hours away from here. Akmenė is one of the less populated districts in Lithuania, with population just around 18,700 people in 2020.
Akmenė is a part of ancient Baltic region Samogitia, and its story needs its own time, of which I will tell in the episode of Telšiai, the capital of Samogitia. Now back to Akmenė. Name Akmenė tells a lot about itself. The root of the word means stone, and it lives up to this name. Akmenė is the only region in Lithuania with an abundance of limestone. It also has a large reserve of red clay. For its dark red color, the area is called Canyons of Mars. It's not hard to see the resemblance. Who knew that the generally green Lithuania can pull this out of its sleeve? But I'm getting ahead of myself. This place is ancient, and it can show you. In a small village, Papilė, the history begins in 14th century. During medieval times, it was surrounded by defensive castles, hence the name Papilė, near the castle. But even that is too late to start telling about the region. The village is also well known for its Jurassic period. More than 300 types of fossils were found in the area, mainly clams and ancient squid-like creatures. Also some parts of phytosaurs, if I pronounce correctly. A gigantic crocodile were found nearby. No crocodiles left in Lithuania these days, though. Furthermore, tiny village Papilė has some interesting sights, like the hanging bridge above the river Venta, a museum of famous 19th century Lithuanian historian Simonas Daukantas, who spent there his last years. Also a linden tree with 15 trunks, although the tree is getting really old, so now you can see just 13 trunks. There also is a geological educational path through the hill fort and some of the exposures, ending with an observational tower to see the beautiful curves of river Venta. Furthermore, just outside of Papilė, you can also find 2 old watermills. And all of this is just a part of Venta Regional Park. To know more about the park, you can go to Visitor Center in the town Venta. By the way, most of the beauty of the river Venta is geological exposures, and watermills can be seen during a kayaking trip, which is quite popular here during the summer months. If you take a short trip from Papilė to the west, you'll find the village Šiaudinė and its beautiful 19th century wooden church, which is miraculously untouched by wars or fires, making it one of the few examples left in Lithuania of the real traditional wooden architecture. Going to the more modern Akmenė, you can visit the Regional Museum and Visitor Center of Kamano Nature Reserve, which is situated just outside the town. It consists of a large swamp and lakes surrounded by a forest, and all is filled with numerous rare plant and animal species. Visiting the area is very restricted, but you can reserve a private tour from the visitor center to guide you through the tricky swamp paths. Even more north from Akmenė is the regional center Naujoji Akmenė, New Akmenė. It's a rather new town built in 1952 by the Soviets to go with the cement factory near the source of the limestone. The city grew in the Soviet times because of increasing production, but after independence, as in most of Lithuania, Naujoji Akmenė shrunk again and lost around a third of population. Yet the limestone and clay sources are still abundant, which takes us to the Moon and Mars. Since most of Lithuania is green and has no mountains whatsoever, the landscape in these quarries is quite rare around here. In Menčiai limestone quarry, you can see some interesting old machinery, a giant crane and a digger that moves 400 meters per hour. It all feels like you have landed on the moon, or at least in some post-apocalyptic scenario. Further going to Šaltiškiai clay quarry, you are transported to the surface of Mars. The so-called Mars Canyon clay is red because of iron in its deposits. Also, this is where many of the ancient fossils from Triassic period are still being found. And we won't stop digging soon. With enough clay for another 100 to 150 years, the quarry is still working hard every day. So, for visiting both Šaltiškiai and Menčiai quarries, you need to get a guide.
All in all, Akmenė district may be small and far away from the urban centers. But that's still closer than Mars. With beautiful nature, history and water activities in the Venta Regional Park and organized trips to the other planets, Akmenė district has plentiful to offer for a memorable weekend getaway from the city. Thanks for watching.